locked in.
Look at what we have here, folks.
To the only show that matters.
The cream of the crop.
Duke Loves Wrestling.
And there is no one that does it better than
your host.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass.
The Duke.
And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Welcome back to Duke Loves Wrestling, the show about pro wrestling and everything else. I am the Duke, the man of the hour, the man with the power, too sweet to be sour, and I'm joined by my not so illustrious, my very disappointing, my turncoat of a producer slash co-host.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The Boston bad boy, Iron Mike Pelosi. You know what I'm talking. I can't even say your name. You know what I'm talking about.
Because you're not a professional.
You know what I'm talking
You
about.
fell apart last Saturday night.
I did not.
You fell apart, and you have yet to pick up the pieces.
You are dishonorable. Okay, let's talk
listen,
about that.
I called the match how I saw it. You are a cheater.
Ladies and gentlemen.
You are no good, first of all. You're awful at video games.
This man is a Benedict Arnold. Let me just jump right into it, folks, because I'm not going to play games here. We're talking about GamerSlam, which happened this past Saturday, and I took on Babam, and I gave him the thrashing of life.
No, you
Everything
didn't.
I said I would do, I
didn't.
did.
No,
okay?
except win.
I completely
Except
destroyed
win.
this guy. This guy had nothing for me.
You
He
lost
had
at
nothing.
You
for
lost
me.
at Tetris.
I was beating him 3-0.
You lost at Tetris.
Okay, despite the fact that I hadn't even played those games in years. Okay, he owns the games. I don't play those games. But I was
According to
destroying
you,
this guy.
Yes, you own the games.
I was destroying this guy.
You own the games and you play them.
Okay? No, that's not true. So then suddenly, and I had a valet. She was very nice. She was awesome. You know, she came on TV. Everyone popped for her, what have you. And then suddenly she turned on me.
Well,
so I knew that we were going down the wrong path.
Hey, you know.
And then I hear the Boston bad boy running me down. All night.
Again, calling the truth as I saw it. We got a very good response. Thank you to everybody who watched on XBit Gaming.
All of you fools who watched on XBit Gaming on Facebook, you all know where you can go, and it ain't heaven.
Wow.
And then the guy, Viper, who I thought was an honorable guy.
He is a very nice guy.
He
Very
dishonored
nice guy.
himself because he started taking the other side. Viper, your job was supposed to be neutral. Okay, you're fake news, just so you know, because you were against the Duke. All right? So the paddle stopped working. The game started skipping. I didn't know what the hell was going on. Suddenly, I'm behind. So I want to know right now, Boston Bad Boy, how much were you paid to throw that match for me?
How could I have thrown the match? I was sitting 15 feet away from you, not
you
touching
did
any of the
something. You did
consoles. No,
something.
all I could see was you nudging Babam. You kept hitting his arm. You were trying to knock
That's
the
not
paddle
true.
out of his hand.
That's not true. That's not true. And here's the worst part. You celebrated with them afterwards. Okay?
Yeah.
It brought me back to the East Boston Little League team, the minor Dunkin' Donut Reds that I played for. We made it to the championship there. We were at Alfesta Field. It was when the field first opened up there in lovely sunny East Boston, Massachusetts. And I was in the championship, and we were up. Okay, we were up 6-3, and then suddenly the other team came back. And you know what happened in the end? The damn lead umpire was celebrating. He took his shirt off, and they were spraying him with the hose. He was dancing with the other team. Come to find out, his niece was on the other team.
Wow.
So this is what you did to me. You rehashed something that happened to me when I was a kid.
I feel like you have some childhood trauma, and you're trying to link it to something that where you were the villain, and you did it wrong, and it bit you in the ass.
Okay.
So you only have yourself to blame because you're very good. I realize what your thing is.
Oh, yeah?
You're very good at button mashing and just flailing around on a keypad
But I was
or on a
winning.
controller. Which games that you were playing early on, you can just press the buttons and win.
Oh, okay.
When it started to turn about halfway through, when we started throwing other games that require a different set of skills, you completely came unfolded.
Is that what happened?
You don't even. I was surprised you even got here tonight, considering how you couldn't even drive the video game car forward.
Crazy Taxi, and I was winning in that game
you
too
weren't.
because I was
No, you
driving in
weren't.
reverse. Well, the game was broken. Okay, I find it convenient that the car wouldn't drive forward for me, but it drove forward for him.
Yeah, because he knew
Something's
how to
not
play
right.
the game,
Oh,
and
yes.
you
So
clearly
now you admit.
he knows how to play the game, and you
Well,
don't.
Just so you folks know,
You don't know how to play any games.
I'm going to sue everybody, including everyone who watched that feed, because they were all against me. Rest assured, ladies and gentlemen of the Duke's Wrestling crew, this will not go unaddressed. Okay, there will be a class action lawsuit, the Duke versus all of them, and I will get that championship. Okay.
You are just an interminable person.
Okay.
You don't give up.
I'm not happy with you.
Because even when you're in the wrong, you double down, You lost.
I can't even look at you.
You tried to screw up the whole thing for everybody involved.
Okay.
And you still lost.
By winning.
No, you still lost. Mm-hmm. You couldn't even cheat your way to something resembling a win.
Yeah. I honestly, Boston Bad Boy, I am just so disgusted with you. Just so you know. I am just disgusted with you.
Well, you were wearing a goofy outfit, and you thought you were top of the world, and it turns out you were at the very bottom.
Whatever.
And you ended where you started as nothing.
Yeah. Well, that's what you are, pal. On today's episode of the Duke Loves Wrestling podcast, I'm going to recap SummerSlam really quickly. Also going to go over the top stories in the world of professional wrestling, a.k.a. Run the Ropes. All of that, plus the Boston Bad Boy wants to talk about some nonsense, which I really don't care about. But before we get to any of that, Boston Bad Boy, what is going on with the alleged president of the United States right now?
Well, if you'd move your friggin' head out of the way, I could watch CNN right now, and I could see.
I sit right here so you can't see the TV.
You think I'm looking at you, but I'm actually trying to see around
what
you.
Is this, a 64-inch TV? What is, how big is
I
this?
think that is a 64-inch TV. Yeah.
He's got this big thing, and I sit right in front of it, folks. Because
you look like you're sitting in between the two anchors on CNN.
Yeah, and he has the subtitles on, but you know what? I make my chair very high. Okay, Tony Schiavone
barely
be proud
get up
of me.
into it.
I make it very high so he can't see the TV because he should be focused on this show. So, folks, if you haven't been paying attention, because we have our friends. I just noticed it is amazing how many fans we have in Germany. For some reason, we got a big uptick in fans in Germany there. But if you're paying attention to what's going on here, folks, our alleged president of the United States here, Donald Trump, everyone's turning on him. It is like the babyface turn of a lifetime. His lawyer, his main fixer, this one, the porn star, everybody's turning on this guy. Okay, and he's just left in the lurch here.
Pecker's going to give it to him.
Pecker, that's right. Even Pecker's turning on him.
His Pecker's turning on him.
That's it. Pecker and the porn star teaming up together.
You know what? You have to think a guy like Trump cheated on all his wives. His Pecker was going to get him in the end.
That's it.
Pecker was going to get him in the end.
The Pecker was always going to win.
You can't think with the Pecker.
Yeah.
You can't trust the Pecker. Clearly. He's turned state's evidence now.
That's it. You got to think with the other thing, not with the Pecker. I'm telling you.
Now we got the Attorney General. They want to get rid of him.
Oh my God! And he told me, "Hey, you ain't going to politicize this, pal." Huh?
And here's a guy we all hate.
I know it's
because he's a doofus.
That's the best part. Everybody who's turning on Trump, we can't stand anyway. But the enemy of the enemy is my friend. So I know some of you little fanboys out there are saying right now, "Oh, come on, Duke. That's not about wrestling. This is a wrestling show." Shut your face. Donald Trump is a WWE Hall of Famer. Everything he does is topical on this show. Okay?
Well, also, I mean, there's always the looming threat of thermonuclear war for this,
that too.
This guy.
I don't want to concern. And speaking of small peckers, hey, Dave Meltzer, I know you weren't happy about last week. Dave was very unhappy about things that
How's Pecker? How's
that
Pecker doing?
How's that Pecker doing? He's very upset about the fact that we called him out on the show last week. Dave, everything that I said I meant, just so you know. I think that you're a disgusting individual. I think that you need to treat women in pro wrestling with a hell of a lot more respect. And more importantly, I think you need to end your crusade against women's breasts. Okay? There's something disturbingly wrong with you. If you want your own set of breasts, Dave, then go get them. It's 2018. You can come to Massachusetts and get it done. Okay? That's right. But, folks, that's what's going on in America right now. Just,
there's a lot more than that going on in America right now.
That's the exciting stuff, though,
there's sometimes when people post on Facebook and they post this ridiculous, sort of Trump-supporting stuff. And you go, what is Trump? And you click on their profile. You don't know. It could be a random person or some friend of a friend or something.
It could be a fake person, sure.
And you go look at some of the things they posted. Mm-hmm. And it's all insane stuff. But the best one I thought was this guy who just posts 1 million memes a day, so he's probably not a real person, but said that, do you know what the Nazis did when they came into Poland and this and that? They took down all the statues. Mm-hmm. And why are we going to let the liberals take down all the statues? Meaning Confederate statues.
I know. Can you imagine? It's like you don't know your history.
I mean, the fact that I never thought, I guess if you sat down and thought, you said, okay, let's name a historical event, whatever it is. You could fabricate any kind of twist or spin on it, really, if you wanted to.
Sure.
But who would ever think to do it? Because it's happened. We all agree it happened.
True.
And most of history in the 20th century, at least, is pretty well documented.
But people still want to pretend like it never happened. It's like when I talk about the fact that Roman Reigns is a punk, and that he's a cheating, no good son, SOB,
right?
People want to pretend like that's not the truth. But
Wait,
it's
who?
like it's in your face. Roman Reigns.
No, okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't paying attention. You're insane.
No, it's the same thing. I agree with you, Boston Bad Boy.
You know what's funny about Roman Reigns and you?
What?
That you're probably both cheating, no good sons of bitches.
Oh, okay.
So you actually have more in common with him than you
I don't
want
have
to
anything
admit.
in common with him. But I got a question for you, Boston Bad Boy.
Yes.
Because we forgot to do a poll last week.
No, we didn't. We purposely didn't
No,
do
the
it.
listeners are very
nonsense.
upset about that. So we got a new poll this week, and that comes from Prince Charlie. Not Prince Charles, Prince Charlie.
Not Prince Charming.
Okay. So, and you better get this one right, folks, especially you, Boston Bad Boy. Do you wet the toothbrush first, or do you put the toothpaste on first?
Do you wet the toothbrush first?
So you're about to brush your teeth.
You always wet the toothbrush because you're rinsing off anything that might have settled on it in the night.
How does that make sense?
Well, where do you keep your toothbrush?
I keep it locked away. So first of all,
in the
I
medicine
dry it.
cabinet?
No. I have a special bag for it.
You
dry
put your
it first.
toothbrush in a bag.
I dry it first.
What is wrong with you?
What? The medicine cabinet, there's things
Why
I
do you
could get into.
why? Which is why you rinse it first. A.
What do you rinse it with? I don't rinse it with water, I disinfect it.
Oh my God! All right, ladies and gentlemen, if there are any ladies listening to this, probably not.
No, we have a very
ladies
high
and
female,
gentlemen,
penetration.
I'm dealing with a man who has some severe problems.
No.
And the fact that he is going on a tear about putting his toothbrush in a bag
Yes.
and there's
I
disinfectant
disinfect
involved.
my toothbrush.
He's a sick person.
I used to have the toothbrush cleaner that with the ultraviolet light that you would stick it in there and it would clean it for you. But the light bulb, they don't make them anymore. I was very upset about that.
Because that's insane.
Well, no, it makes
Now,
a
do
lot
you
of
have an
sense.
electric toothbrush?
I have
or the
both.
old school?
I have manual and I have electric. I have both.
I go for the full electric.
Okay,
It's
wow.
invigorating.
Full electric. You like this thing?
Yeah, it's invigorating.
You like the battery-powered things going on there, huh?
Well, it's a nice little pick-me-up in the morning.
Wow.
Just gets it nice, squeaky clean. Never had a cavity.
Is there
Boston
something wrong
Bad
with
Boy,
your,
never had a
that's very
cavity.
impressive. Is there something wrong with your hand that you can't brush your teeth?
No, you're
yourself?
talking about ultrasonic, though.
Oh, is that
you're talking
what-
about
oh, wow.
ultrasonic?
You get the expensive one.
Oh,
Listen
yeah.
to this.
Yeah,
Wow.
I'm not
You
messing
don't pay
around.
the $5 joint.
First of all, anybody who saw the Moneymaker
the
during the live stream
Moneymaker
understands that
Yeah.
it takes a lot of. Listen, this is. I put it together. I put effort into this.
You're a disaster.
I'm a natural beauty.
Yeah.
But you want to make sure you got to maintain.
Oh, is
you
that
know,
what
you
it
can't
is?
just
Yeah.
be lazy about it.
Oh, okay.
So the
answer the damn
ultrasonic,
question.
it's a hygienic. It makes your teeth
it's
look better. It's
ridiculous.
better.
It's too expensive. Do you wet the toothbrush before you put the toothpaste
Of course you
on?
do.
Okay. So I don't do that. I don't do that at all, folks. You know why? Because I disinfect my toothbrush before I put the toothbrush away. So I don't have to worry about germs being on
So
it.
you're putting toothpaste on a dry brush, which is going into your mouth,
Okay.
with no water to give a little
the
lubrication.
water is probably not clean enough.
No, the water
Use
activates.
Listerine.
You're brushing your teeth, and the liquid you're using is Listerine.
Mhm.
That makes no sense.
You know why? Because it kills 99% germs.
That's fine. You Listerine, then you rinse your mouth with water.
No.
Yeah.
Listerine.
No,
Okay.
no,
Well,
you're wrong.
folks, I'm going to put up the poll. Do you
my
put
God.
do you wet the toothbrush before or after you put the toothpaste on? You better have the right answer, folks. You better have the right answer.
You wet it first because then it helps to activate the baking soda and everything else in the
That's
toothpaste.
literally the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
You know what?
Because
Because you have no idea how the world works.
I don't. I don't have to.
Yeah,
You know,
okay,
I make
exactly.
things work.
You
I
heard
don't
it
have
here
to-
first, folks.
Yeah.
He admitted he has no idea how the world
Whatever.
works.
Run the ropes. It's time to run the ropes. It's when I educate this knucklehead Boston Bad Boy on the top stories in the world of professional wrestling. Let's go. Boston Bad Boy, you have no idea how anything works. In fact, I'm surprised anyone even lets you out of the house.
Are
by
we done with
yourself.
this show yet? I mean, but
No, what are
between
you
Saturday,
talking about? No, you're very rude.
I've seen you twice in a week, and it's not. I'm not liking it.
Best thing never happened in your
I'm
life.
not liking it.
Best thing ever happened in your life. Kevin Owens agrees with the Duke. That's right, folks. Listen, I told you all last week. I told you all that Vince McMahon is your daddy, all you indie wrestlers and indie promotions, and that you exist because he allows you to. So Kevin Owens, he did an interview, and he made it abundantly clear that he agrees with the Duke, okay? And I think it's important for you to understand this because you're going to start to see more of this. Like, let me just give you a few quotes here. I absolutely don't think it's a threat, Owen said about New Japan Pro Wrestling and ROH selling out Madison Square Garden and also All In. Okay, listen to this. The fact that all these companies are thriving is great for everybody involved. The wrestling world is changing, and it's exciting to see, but I think it would be silly to look at these companies thriving and not feel that WWE is a big part of them thriving as well. You know what I mean? You see that, folks? He agrees with me. So all of you indie wrestlers out there who messaged me, who sent me threatening messages and what have you, Rudy Boy Gonzalez.
No one cares about you.
Rudy Boy Gonzalez and Micah Madrid, by the way, they threatened me again today, which
Good.
I'm not happy about.
They rightly so.
Dewan O'Neal, a.k.a. Second to None, all of you, I just want you to know that Vince McMahon allows you to exist. And if you keep playing games, I'm going to have Vince make sure you don't exist anymore in this company, in this business.
Yeah, they aren't in the company.
Lifestyle. What's that?
They're not in the company.
They are in the company.
No, they're not.
I'll tell you how they're in the company. Because Vince McMahon is their daddy. He owns everything.
Why do you love him so much?
Because he's a good friend of mine.
No, he's not.
He's been very loyal and good to me.
No, he's never been loyal and good to anybody.
No, he's been good to me.
And so
and loyal to me.
You would not even be on the list if he decided to change
That's
that
not, I'm in
after
his
70
will, you know.
years.
I am in his will.
No.
Vince McMahon already let me know that he's going to leave an indie promotion to the Duke when he moves on to the great ring in the sky.
You know, I didn't think you did drugs, but now I'm starting to wonder.
Okay.
Because you're living in a total fantasy land.
Okay. Well, once again, all of you indie promotions and indie wrestlers, you're welcome. Becky Lynch is a no-good you-know-what. That's right, folks. If you watched SummerSlam, you saw that punk Becky Lynch attack the great Charlotte Flair. She slapped the hell out of her. I mean, she slapped the taste out of her mouth. It was just very difficult to see. I think she might have popped Charlotte's eardrum with that slap. And I just want you folks to know that I had a talk with Charlotte's people. They want you to know that she's on the mend. And they want you to know that when she gets her hands on Becky Lynch, she's going to destroy her. You know, Becky, she's really been cruising for a bruising for a while now. I never liked her, by the way. I've
No
made
one
that clear
cares.
through the years.
No
on
one
this
cares
show.
whether you liked her or not.
No, I care because I've never liked her. I think that she is the most underwhelming person on the roster outside of Bayley. The two of them together are just a disaster, just so you know. Okay? So for all you people out there that like Becky Lynch and that like Bayley, they're both, how do I say this? Dishonorable people, just like the Boston Bad Boy. Okay? I'm not going to swear. I'm just going to say they're dishonorable people, and they're going to get what's coming to them, just like the guy who's sitting in front of me right now. Goldberg says he was hacked. Ugh, Boston Bad Boy. Bill Goldberg
Was it the
tweeted-
Russians?
Well, it might have been. Bill Goldberg, at least from his Twitter account, tweeted that he was going to, quote-unquote, kill the president. Well, now he puts out something that says, obviously, I was just hacked. What do you think? Bill Goldberg.
So he puts out something.
He's a WWE Hall of Famer, just like Trump. So he tweets
You think
out.
they go to the same social media, like for dummies courses, and
Well,
this is what's going on
That's
here?
very rude.
Well,
I wouldn't say that about Goldberg. He's a car guy. Don't say that.
so what about him?
He could drive down here and run you over. Do you think he was hacked? Do you think he was just kind of getting a little upset?
Wait,
at
what
Trump?
exactly did he say?
He threatened to kill the president
Did he really?
on Twitter. And then he said, obviously, I'm pretty sure the Secret Service – actually, I know the Secret Service visited him.
Well, here's the thing. If I think the Secret Service, if he was really hacked, he would give them – and they'd be able to take a look and say, oh, yeah, you know, this was –
Sure.
here's where it came from.
Sure.
I think if he had actually said it, it'd be a bigger story.
Okay.
I think if they came out and said this is a threat, I think people would have picked up on it and, you know –
Well –
especially given how big wrestling is in Trump country.
and Goldberg is a big name.
Yeah,
He's a big
exactly.
name. Sure.
Right. He's not some unknown quantity.
Sure. Sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
So then who would hack Goldberg? Who did it?
I think it does. I don't think it's anybody with him specifically. I'm sure it's just somebody. They were trying to find somebody with a certain number of followers or
Oh.
certain with, you know,
Was
like
it
for
Mike
instance, they'd never hack you because no one follows you and no one cares what you say. So if you
I'm
said
a very
something,
popular
if
person.
you said something ridiculous on that level, perhaps, you know, no one would really
I'm
care.
a very popular person.
With who?
Everybody wants to hack me.
With shut-ins.
Everybody wants to hack me. Okay. But
hack you to pieces, maybe.
Bill Goldberg, you were not invited on this show because we can't have people threatening the President of the United States.
No.
So
and as much as I
we're
hate
going
Trump, that is not what we do here.
No, that's not what we do. We don't go making idle threats unless it's to Roman Reigns, who's faced.
See, no, you don't do it. You don't do it for anybody.
No, Roman Reigns is a different specimen there. I would love to straighten him out real quick.
Why would you use that word?
Well, because it's true. What?
Something wrong with you.
Sad news to report in the wrestling world. That's right, folks. We lost another member of the wrestling sorority/fraternity here. We're talking about Chris Champion. You know, Chris, boy, he also was known as Yoshi Kwan. This guy, he was a standout in the old Crockett territory, the USWA, WCW, a lot of indies in the South. I spoke to our good friend there. I like to call him my cousin there, JD. We're talking about Doug McKay.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's an indie wrestler, referee, what have you there. Mm-hmm. And he knew Chris very well. And he shared some pretty good memories of this guy. But it's just sad to see another wrestler pass. He was a young guy, too. So.
Well, it's one of those things, it's as the industry gets bigger, there's more people involved,
Sure.
It's bound to happen. It's
bound
sad when it happens. And, these guys, like anything else, it's a tough business.
It is a tough business. It's
so
a very tough business.
Was the passing to do directly with the business, or?
No. I mean, we don't know for sure what happened, but I think it was natural causes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, that's tough.
It's tough. It's tough. You never want to see. It's crazy. And while we're at it, rest in peace to the Queen of Soul, Aretha Franklin. Mm-hmm. It's crazy when you see people that you grew up watching. You feel a connection with these folks, and then they pass away, and it's just like, damn.
Well, it's funny when Anthony Bourdain passed away.
Oof, that was a tough one.
That was tough, just because I remember being when that show has been on for a long time.
Yes,
it's been on for probably 15 years.
Yeah, easily. Yeah,
and being a kid from the city,
parts unknown.
Yeah, not traveling. But watching this guy and go, hey, this guy kind of gets it. He's just awesome. He's a regular guy, and so you learn from that. You and then that person, you're like, wow, that is weird. It's weird, even though they are celebrities or people you're just fans of. They're not necessarily close. It is still strange.
It's tough, and they just announced that the final season of that show, Parts Unknown, is about to start airing.
That's right.
That's going to be eerie.
Yeah, you know what? I have an interesting thought, by the way. If we don't have to go into this too deeply, but hear me out. So, Bourdain was dating one of the women who was prominent actress who was prominent in this Me Too movement. Mm-hmm. I forget her name off the top of my head. Asia Argento.
Sure. They
were dating for a while. It just came out this week that she has been accused of sexual misconduct with one of her co-stars.
More than an accusation, she paid the kid off.
Right. So whatever it is, it's still. I mean, it unfolded earlier this week.
She paid the kid off.
Right. So I'm thinking to myself, here's our buddy Bourdain.
No.
Wait, no. Listen to me. Listen to me. Somebody obviously who struggled with his own demons.
Sure.
He had a wife, child, divorce, and then he meets somebody else, and it's going great. What if he found out about this?
I don't want to go there.
What if he found out about this, and it just put him in a funk? And again, there is never really a good reason or a reason that justifies it, but it speaks to that situations are always infinitely more complex.
Sure.
You know what I mean? What's going on with somebody,
and it speaks to you don't want to know the truth all the time.
Boy. Yes.
Some things you just don't want to know.
Some things you don't want to know because some things you can't handle.
That's it.
Listen, folks, we've all been through a lot.
Yeah.
There are some things, though, we can't handle.
That's it.
And we might not even know what those things are.
Yes.
So it's best left unexplored.
Leave that one alone. Yep.
So I was thinking about that going, boy, just a person.
Sure.
And you're with somebody or whatever, and you find out something perhaps, and it's something that you didn't want to know.
Didn't want to know.
Maybe you're not good at processing anyway, and who knows? Who knows?
Well, rest in peace to all the deceased. And the number one story in the world of professional wrestling is SummerSlam was another big hit. That's right, folks. So we got to see that punk, that no-good jerk, Roman Reigns. He cheated his way to victory. He defeated Brock Lesnar for the Universal Championship, which was very terrible to see. Although, Lesnar needs to move on to the UFC. Who knows what he's going to be doing in the WWE now. But, he slimmed down a lot, Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
Which a lot of wrestlers have slimmed down, and people have been asking me about it. They're in a testing cycle right now. So figure out what that means.
Yeah.
But everybody who was all jacked up and pumped up in April, suddenly they're very small, including John Cena. John Cena lost a considerable amount of weight.
Interesting. America's sweetheart.
Well, Jinder Mahal.
Well, this just goes to show that your boy Vince has no real desire to ever curb illegal drug use in the WWE because he's allowing this obvious
trend. How is he
trend.
allowing it if he's testing them? Explain to me how he's allowing it if he's testing them.
Because they're not randomized tests,
I don't know what that
dummy.
means. I don't know what that means.
You're an idiot then.
Well, we're talking about SummerSlam. We're not going to talk about muscles here. AJ Styles and Samoa Joe had an unbelievable matchup that ended up being a count-out or a no contest. Joe, in the middle of the match, grabs the microphone and looks at AJ's wife and daughter and says, I told you that daddy would be home, but it looks like he's not going to make it, so I'll be your daddy now. Said that to the man's wife and kid. I mean, this is personal. This is you got a kick out of that, Boston bad boy. Can you say that in front of the world at a man's wife and kid?
Boy, you have to have some skill.
It's true.
Yeah,
You're a tough guy.
I came to you a couple days ago with a line that I thought was very good.
Yeah,
and you said, you know what?
Yeah.
It's a little beyond your scope at the moment.
That's it. It's too much.
It's too much.
Too much.
You got to master some other arts.
Yes.
Before you get to the point of
saying things like
that to people in front of everybody.
Because that hurts. So AJ got up and proceeded to beat the living daylights out of Samoa Joe. Beat him with chairs. He threw him through a barricade. He did a lot of things. They had to pull people off him.
Yeah.
And then he was all bloodied and everything. I mean, just his head was split. It was crazy. Then he goes up to his wife and kid, and the kid said, Daddy, you're bleeding. And he says, I know. It's like a movie. It's like the whole Wild Wild West here, bro. It was amazing.
That was an awful movie.
It was an awful movie.
That was was that really the end of Will Smith? That might have been
the end. He's going strong. What are you talking about?
What are you talking about, going strong?
Will Smith?
Yeah.
He is an A-list actor.
Oh, good. Don't get into this with me again.
I'm just going to tell you.
He is not an A-list.
Will Smith is an A-list actor.
He may still be considered an A-list actor.
Yeah.
He has not done anything A-list in years.
I don't know if that's true or not.
But you're sure he's an A-list?
He is an A-list.
Okay, I see how that
is. Will Smith, I have no problem. He talks about the sun, the moon, and the stars, and he talks about stuff. I don't want to be on the receiving end of Will Smith being upset with me because he might be like cosmic Jesus or something. I just don't want problems.
Listen, I liked Will Smith. I grew up with Will Smith.
So of course you did.
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Of course you did.
And all the various movies until it started getting really ridiculous. But I feel like something's up with Will Smith. And but correct me if I'm wrong. Is he a Scientologist?
I don't think he is, but I think he's in everything.
I think he dabbles in the Scientology. And if he does...
No, I think he created his own thing, which is bigger than...
Didn't Chappelle try that too?
Yeah,
and he had to go take a break for a couple of years.
Wow.
And that's exactly where Will Smith is right now.
When you're making that kind of money, you can make your own religion. Who cares?
Apparently, he turned down... He did something with that latest Independence Day movie, and they wrote him out of it.
Yeah.
I don't understand that.
Because he's Will Smith. He's bigger than that.
No, he's not. Will Smith is not bigger than Independence Day because Independence Day made Will Smith.
I don't know about that.
That made him an A-list actor.
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, which he made. He
I understand
produced,
that.
created it, and everything.
But what I'm saying is make him an A-list international superstar.
No.
Independence Day.
Ali made him.
That was after.
No, Men in Black.
After.
After Independence Day?
Everything was after Independence Day.
Well, no, because he had that other movie when he played what did he play? He played the gay kid with the HIV or something like that.
Okay, I'm talking about international mega superstar. Independence Day, you
Will
dum-dum.
Smith, I got no problems with you. Do not strike me down, please. But anyways, SummerSlam, I was very disappointed in the fact that Kevin Owens was destroyed by Braun Strowman. That was a bad move on the WWE's part. Shout out to the New Day for winning back the championship. That was awesome. Awesome match. I already told you about Becky Lynch, who attacked Charlotte, but that was after Charlotte won the championship from my girl, Carmella, Carmella, still rooting for you there. Paul, shout out to my man Paul, good friend of mine. Overall, SummerSlam wasn't bad. NXT TakeOver was much better. Velveteen Dream. Velveteen Dream, on his tights, he actually had call me up Vince because he wants to be called up to the main roster.
Yeah.
Took balls. This kid.
Well,
because that wasn't approved.
I think that anytime I actually have Vince. If you look here,
I don't
have
look.
Vince.
I'm not
I
looking.
have Vince on my ass
Pull
as
your
well.
pants up, Boston.
And it's
bad
only
boy.
because I like to sit on it
Jesus.
because that's where he belongs.
Give me a break. But can you imagine? He took a chance. He called me up, Vince. That's what he put on the back of his tights. Triple H did not know he was going to do that.
That reminds me of a funny anecdote.
Oh boy.
That I don't know if it's true or not, but it's a great story.
I don't know where this.
It might be the greatest American story.
Okay.
Ben Franklin was an envoy to the British Empire after the Revolution.
Sure.
Sent him over there as a diplomat. And he was having dinner at a general's house, a British general's house. And he goes to the restroom during this big dinner party. And hanging above the water closet, the loo, as they call it, was a picture of George Washington. Put there as a snub, of course. Comes back to the dinner party. And the general says to him, Mr. Franklin, I hope you enjoyed where we put our portrait of your General Washington. Franklin thought for a moment and said, oh, I think it's totally fine. Nothing scares the shit out of the British more than a picture of George Washington.
Oh, Jesus. Wow. That was a pretty good one. Must you be so vulgar on this
I'm
show?
sorry,
Yes,
but I
very
thought
vulgar.
that was pretty good. And it's probably not true because I don't think they had indoor plumbing at the time, but it's a good story.
It's a good story. And you made it.
Of all the American anecdotes that you could teach the kids,
See that?
something a little
Teach them
funny.
something that's not true, of course. Kairi Sane, she actually won the NXT Women's Championship. You know, I had to point that out. Very proud of her, and I can't wait for her to lose the championship to Bianca Belair because she is the EST, the baddest, the best, the whole 9 yards. That's right.
The EST.
EST, because it's est at the end of everything. The best, the baddest, the greatest, all that. EST.
Stupidest? Oh, that's you.
You've heard what I think. Now, what do you think? Do you agree with me? Do you think I'm a jerk? Maybe something in between? Head over to Facebook. Head over to Twitter. Type in Duke Loves Wrestling and let me know. That was very rude of you. You're just on a roll. I don't even know if I should even allow you to do the next segment because of that.
You don't have any control over that.
Whatever. Up next, I'm gonna be nice and allow the Boston Bad Boy an open mic. We'll be right back.
This is former WWE superstar Al Snow and magician to the blind. You're listening to Duke Loves Wrestling.
All right, Duke, we got a special guest here today with us.
Ric Flair.
Nope, not Ric Flair. Someone even a bigger champion and more recent, Mr. Babam, champion of GamerSlam 2018. Babam, please just give us a quick overview of the beating you gave to the Duke.
It all happened so fast, and it was just very easy. All I know is that he got his butt whooped. My mom wanted to challenge him for the next one. It's a sad day for the Duke.
Let me tell you something, Babam. You tell your mom to stay out of this, okay?
Yeah.
She needs to get rid of the contract and get out of my life. Tell her I said that.
Yeah.
So, we could go on for days and days, and I'm sure in the coming times you're on the show, Babam, we will always bring it back to how badly the Duke lost. But I brought you on.
He can come anytime.
Yeah, and I brought you on because last time you said you don't get to talk wrestling, and I wanted to know what you thought about All In.
Oh yeah, I'm really excited about All In. Actually, I'm going to be in Seattle performing at the Facebook main stage that day. I'm going to miss the beginning of the live of that, but I will be going back to my hotel room and watching it that night for sure, no question.
That doesn't really matter.
What did you just say?
That doesn't really matter whether you see it or not because it's going to be a waste of everyone's time.
What do you mean by that?
Well, because Cody Rhodes is headlining it, so you already know that it's going to be a snore fest. I mean, the guy couldn't get over as Stardust, as Cody Rhodes, so how the hell is he going to carry
He got over
an indie promotion?
got over in every single fashion in
true.
WWE.
That's not true. But is that why he had to ask for his release? Because he got over so well?
So here's the thing. Duke, I really don't understand your hate for indie wrestlers or indie performers.
Because the WWE is their daddy. They eat off of us. They eat off of us.
Did you say we said us, by the way?
If it wasn't for indie performers, the WWE wouldn't have its highest spots that have ever happened in the history. Like, think about it for just 1 minute. Like, every single performer, Mick Foley getting tossed off the cage, one of the most memorable spots in history. Stone Cold coming from WCW to ECW to finally to WWE. these guys didn't like ECW was the indie division back then that a lot of people looked at. All these other indie divisions that are out there. You claim you want to believe that WWE allows them to. I saw you write something the other day. It was absolutely stupid. There are better wrestlers. The reality is like Kenny Omega versus Pentagon, I would watch all day before any of the main events that I've seen in the past 2 years in WWE.
Oh, give me
Jay
a break.
Lethal, they all have Roman Reigns in them. It's just a crop of garbage.
Let me ask you a
Briscoe
question.
brothers.
Let me ask you a question there, Babam.
Yeah, okay, why don't you do it? Rey Mysterio.
What weekend is
card.
All In happening? What's also happening at the same time at a much bigger arena? Tell me, what's happening? WrestleMania.
Tax West.
WrestleMania. They eat.
All In is happening in. What are you talking about?
You know what? I'm thinking about that other indie show happening in Madison Square Garden.
You might be one of the dumbest sports commentators
Yes.
there are.
Yes, he is.
It's happening it's happening in a week and a half.
No one cares about All In. That's how much I know about it. No one's going to watch it.
Boy, you are just kind of not smart.
No one's going to watch it.
Silly.
So
I'm going to watch it.
All In is the
And you can
bomb
get
of
it
wrestling
for
events.
$39.99 on
Oh,
Fight.
Jesus.
You can stream it live.
Yeah,
How's
Fight.
that?
That's another app that nobody watches. Listen, I'm going to tell you, like Kevin Owens just told the world, and Boston Bad Boy and I, we kind of talked about this.
We didn't talk about anything.
Kevin Owens said that don't get yourself all hyped up because if it wasn't for the WWE, none of this would be happening, which is what I said last week. So it's funny that everybody's starting to jump on the Duke's bandwagon and regurgitate what I say, which is that you all, including you, Babam, need to thank Vince McMahon for allowing you to exist.
Every time you talk, Duke, I want to regurgitate. So I just wanted to make that clear for everybody listening.
Yeah.
So.
You're very rude. Okay.
I don't think you really have much to offer to this.
You're very rude.
And all you can do is shut him down. But he is the champion.
I don't care.
Babam is
true.
the current World Gamer Slam champion.
Yeah.
And I think he'll just have the title in perpetuity.
Yeah.
And I think we should just grant it to him at this point.
I'm going to sue you, Babam.
Yeah.
I'm going to sue you, just so
You're
you
not
know.
going to do anything.
Okay.
Join the list.
I'm pretty sure I'm going to sue you. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
His name is Babam. Thank you so much for checking in,
Get
despite
lost.
the Duke
Don't
trying
come
to
back.
ruin it as
I
usual.
can't stand you.
Hey, he's a moron.
Tell your mother she's banned from my show as well.
Don't talk about his mother.
That's it.
Bye, guys.
Well, that just about sums it up, doesn't it?
I didn't want to give you that segment. And
First of all,
I
it
shouldn't have allowed
wasn't
it.
yours to give or
No,
take.
I shouldn't have allowed that segment. to happen.
Allowed, he says.
Because it goes back to the same thing where it's obvious that you all are jealous of me, which is why you band together to try to take me out in every way. In every way.
You took yourself out. That's the thing.
not
You
true.
took yourself out of
That's
that,
not
and
true.
it was broadcast for the world to see
Yeah, a lot of
that
people
you
saw
took
that.
took yourself out of the game because you just can't handle the pressure.
And then he wants to bring his mom into it. You know she was talking trash about me. during
I
the
did.
thing.
I was reading it.
Oh, you were?
Yeah.
So why didn't you
I
tell
thought it
her
was
to stop?
highly appropriate.
Why didn't you tell her to stop?
No, I think it was appropriate.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Keeping you in line because
Hiding
you
behind
out
his
of line.
mommy.
No, he actually prevented her from coming there in the moment
She
and
did
taking
threaten
you
to
out.
come. She did.
So you should be kinder to him for not.
I would have
letting
had her
come there.
arrested if she would ever touch me.
Yeah,
Okay? Just
okay.
so you know, Babam's mom. Please. Okay? I got lawyers for you. Don't even play with me.
Can we move this along, please?
Up next, folks, the Duke is going to sound off. Get ready.
Hey, this is Daniel Richards, the progressive liberal. I want you to remember to vote Democrat, turn this country around, continue listening to one of the best out there, the Duke Loves Wrestling podcast.
All right, Boston Bad Boy. You know, we touched upon this a little earlier, and I can't let this thing go. Because I got in such a response from all these indie wrestlers and some promoters who were just so beside themselves because the Duke pointed out the truth that Vince McMahon allows them all to exist. And some of them says, well, Duke, how can I be the son? I'm a female wrestler. Okay, well, then you're the daughter. You know, you're Vince McMahon's daughter. All of you are his children. He birthed you. Okay? It's a fact.
You are living in such an alternate
You
reality.
exist because Vince McMahon allows you, indie wrestler, with your flippy moves and your nonsense, okay? Come to NXT. Learn how to wrestle the right way.
Let me tell you something. Let's start at the beginning. You and this show exist because of me.
Here we go.
Here's a
with this
fact.
Nonsense.
Okay?
All right.
So let's start there.
Okay.
Now, let's take that and apply it to wrestling. It doesn't, actually, because
You
the
got
market
that
for
right.
wrestling doesn't warrant one person controlling the whole thing. It's too big. It always has been too big.
It's not true.
And Vince McMahon is nothing but a punk who got lucky on the coattails of his old man.
Real lucky.
And his old man basically tried to snub out the indie wrestling scene, and he couldn't keep him down. Couldn't keep him down. Couldn't keep him down then. Can't keep him down now. You know why? Because it's about heart. And they don't have any, the WWE.
Oh.
They've got no heart. And the guys that are out there, the kids who are out there, putting their bodies on the line for next to no money at some stinky VFW, they're the heart of wrestling. And if you're a real wrestling fan, which you claim to be, you would know that. You would know that this is where it starts. It's where it's always started. And the problem is not where it's starting. It's where it's ending. The problem is with the WWE. The problem is with the top of the pyramid, not the bottom. And you just sit there and you lick his butt, Vince McMahon's, and you just say he does everything right, when the reality is so much the opposite of that. It's disgusting.
Let's be honest.
And you're
here.
disgusting
Let's
for defending
be
such
honest. The
such a thing.
WWE has so much money they could print their own. And
I'm sure he's tried that.
when you look at where the WWE makes stops, you ever notice all these indie promotions, they're running behind, like little rats trying to get cheese there, and they want to set up shop where the WWE is so they can steal their fans. So let me get a couple bucks out of
steal
Mike's
their
pockets
fans.
and what have you at this
See,
event
here's
here.
the thing. If you were a real fan, you'd know that there's no such thing as stealing fans. The
Sure
people
there is.
who are fans of wrestling are fans of wrestling,
No,
period.
no.
They'll see indie acts. They'll see the WWE. They'll see NXT. They'll go wherever they go. They've supported several runners-up to the WWE as far as size. People will always go.
No. I'm just going to make it clear right
There
now.
are not different levels of fans.
Sure there are.
No, there's
Sure
not.
there are. The real ones and then the punks. I'm going to make it clear to everybody right now. Let me just throw down a gauntlet.
Oh, boy.
If you don't acknowledge the fact that Vince McMahon is wrestling, okay? If you don't acknowledge that the WWE is wrestling, we will shut you out of the whole business,
That's not.
okay?
No. No, you
We
won't.
will
What do you
literally
mean,
shut
first
you
of
out of
all,
the whole business.
What do you mean we?
What do you? I'm an investor in the WWE. I have
No,
a
you're not.
stake. I have
You're
skin
a
in
consumer.
the game. I have skin
You're a
in the game.
consumer.
No, I
You're
own
not an
stock.
investor.
I have skin in the game.
You own stock.
I do, and I've owned stock for many
Let's see
years. Okay.
Let's see. I want to see paper.
I got to prove to you that I'm an investor
Effing
in
right
the
you do.
WWE.
Effing right you do.
So then what? Then what? So I show you my stock. Then what?
Because it still doesn't matter because you're
Of course
more
it
of a
does.
consumer than an
No,
owner.
No. I'm an owner. Okay. I make decisions.
I'm an owner.
I make decisions. So we will shut you out.
No, you won't.
We will buy up all the talent.
No, you won't.
Shut your organization down.
Wait.
And then we'll get rid of them
Who
all.
are you buying the talent from? What? Who are you buying the talent from?
What do you mean?
Who's the talent you're buying?
They're independent contractors.
Oh, they're independent wrestlers. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So you're saying independent wrestlers, we're going to put you out. We're going to put you out of business because we're going to hire independent wrestlers.
We're going to hire you and then fire you after the companies go out of business.
Oh, I see. Is that what you think? That makes
That's what
absolutely
happens.
no
That's
sense.
what we do.
No, that's not a thing.
But that is a thing.
not a
We've
thing.
done it before.
Not
So-
successfully, obviously, because there's still a robust industry of independent
Because we
wrestling.
allow them to exist.
That's not true. Why would you do that if you've already tried to squash it before? See, your logic falls apart with just the slightest touch. With the slightest touch,
That's not
it just
true.
crumbles. Your thin, brittle facade of a fandom that you claim to have and a knowledge you claim to have, it just completely falls apart.
I think you're jealous.
Of what?
I think you're concerned that Vince McMahon is going to take over other industry, like radio. Maybe he'll just buy your company, and put
Really?
you out of business.
Maybe he'd
Did you
buy
ever
my
think about
company
that?
and
He
put
has
me
enough
out of
money.
business.
He
No,
could
he
buy
doesn't.
your company.
Absolutely
He
not.
could buy your company.
No.
Vince McMahon could buy your company.
No.
He's gonna, and actually in the NFL, he's gonna take you on next with the XFL. Vince McMahon
Yeah, that's going to go.
is the greatest businessman in the history of business. Okay, I'm going to say that again. Vince McMahon is the greatest businessman in the history of business.
Yeah, he made his money, not unlike Trump, off the backs of hardworking people by stiffing them. Stiffen them for money when they got paid.
That's not
stiffen them for health insurance. Stiffen them for long term. Using them and spitting them out.
That's not
letting racists work for him.
That's not true.
Not treating women equally. That's how he made his money.
No,
so
we're going
if
down the wrong
that's a
path.
great
No.
that's a great businessman, then hey, you know what? That's how you define
You know
it.
what?
That's not how the rest of the world defines
This
it. I'm
thing
sorry.
did not go the way that I wanted to go. Folks,
Yeah,
and
because
with
there's
that
because
said,
you're speaking nonsense.
No, before
don't
you
cut me off now because I'm
besmirch
getting on
Vince
a roll.
McMahon's great name
No,
any
because he has
further.
no idea what
You know
he's
what,
doing.
folks? We're out of here. We're out of time here. Tony Schiavone, take it away.
Mr. Tony Schiavone, and we're desperately out of time on Duke Loves Wrestling.